In 3, 2, 1. Hey, good morning, or I guess good afternoon. It's 50 seconds after the hour here. Week 16 championship final. The Saturday Morning Snap Fantasy Football podcast coming to you on a Sunday. It was kind of fun to do this yesterday, and I feel like we, for the most part, hit some home runs, but if I talked to you off the Tyler Higbee ledge, I'm sorry. I will apologize for that now. But you can, if you've used your eyes here for the last 20 seconds or so, you will see that this podcast got a little bit more handsome with Mark, the fantasy pool, coming in with his bow to the Emperor. Hopefully we got producer Scott in the back here. We're going to be going through as many start-sit questions as we can today and also talking about our own. What do you think of the 3 games yesterday, Marky?
Man, I had a lot of promise for those games. They looked awesome before they started, and then actually, it's funny. I was in the barber's chair yesterday, and they have a big TV, and the guys who cut hair at that place, they're really into football and fantasy football. So not only does the guy who cut my hair really have a lot of cool things to talk about, but he spun me around and let me watch my team, the Buccaneers, kick off. And then guess what I saw within one play of the game? And then guess what almost happened again 5 minutes later? Yeah, so I mean, it started off with an unfortunate loss from my boys in Tampa. Houston clinched the division, which good for them. That's huge. They were looking. I'm not sure how far they'll get along in the playoffs with their performance, but the rest of the games yesterday, Patriots, Bills, we kind of knew who that one was going to go in Foxborough, and then the night game, also another one that was just climactic, full of tricks. You didn't know exactly what was going to be happening after the first quarter, but yeah, just those games did not disappoint. I'm thrilled going into Sunday with just as much excitement. I love Saturday games. How about you, Mac?
I said yesterday on the live stream, I wish that this was a weekly thing, that we could have 3 games on Saturday. It's just so nice. I mean, I know for our American listeners, college football is a huge thing, and that takes up most of their Saturday. So I understand how there could be, a little bit of a crossover there. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great.
Did you have anyone involved yesterday?
Yeah, so I started Brashad Perriman in a couple places, and I feel like we were pretty bullish on him yesterday, and we told a lot of people to start him, and I think 7 for 102 is a really, really good start for the weekend. I mean, obviously throwing a touchdown in there would have changed things. I mean, 24 points versus the 17 you got him would have been a little nicer, but yeah, you know what? We'll take the 17 points. I'm in. I'm interested with that.
Yeah, I was watching that game with Lando a bit too yesterday afternoon, and Perriman is he kind of reminds me a lot of Chris Godwin, which obviously helps his stock. And yeah, I mean, you like to see anyone performing on a level like that. Missed Chris Godwin, missed Mike Evans, could have been the reason for that loss yesterday from them. But yeah, Perriman didn't disappoint. We were plugging kind of all week. And then, I had Singletary yesterday, and he didn't.
He was the bust. He was the bust spot, I think, for most people.
Yeah. And then Todd Gurley was able to rectify that with a couple short TDs for me.
Other than that, though, not really. But he wasn't even targeted in the pass game.
No, exactly.
Really
it's
really, really hurt.
Yeah, big time.
So let's jump into a couple questions. I got a couple tweets overnight from Blaza Prodigy on Twitter. Who do we like this week for the flex position? Aaron Jones or DK Metcalf? Ooh is right.
I feel like flex, if you have the running back option, is almost always so in this case it's Aaron Jones for me. I love Aaron Jones. That team is going to have to play their absolute hardest, as they always do, facing off against the Vikings, and it's going to be an awesome game. I just hope Jones doesn't make a costly error early, because I find with Jones, if that happens, then he gets scripted outwards.
He does just a little bit.
But I do put all my chips on a running back, especially a strong one like that, over a rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, the floor is just a little bit safer. And like we were talking about yesterday, Lan and I, which Aaron is going to prevail in Green Bay? Is it going to be an Aaron Rodgers game or an Aaron Jones game? I seem to think it'll be Aaron Jones Day. Just for the record here, I did say Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones.
Oh, there it is.
10 o'clock this morning, I replied to that one. But nice to see. I got some support coming from you on that one. Let's jump over to the sleeper chat. It's always buzzing. Yesterday was crazy. It was popping off yesterday. We'll start off with Swimmer Dude. Full PPR, Connor or Boone. I think after you saw James Conner do what he did last week in his return, you got to go James Conner. Like I thought he would be heavily involved just out of necessity, but he is the clear-cut, like head and shoulders better than any other running back talent they have. Which I was big on Benny Snell and him getting that opportunity, and what a letdown.
Yeah, I agree. You can't not start Connor in this case, although I think the fantasy gods are smiling on Mike Boone. I think a lot of people are high on him, but I just feel like for assurance sake, you got to put in that guy who's beasting out when he's on the field.
100%. If you guys are with us on YouTube, you can go ahead and leave your questions in the comment section. You can also go ahead and click a like and maybe a subscribe if you're interested in that. It's free, obviously. If you want to join in on the Sleeper Chat, the link is in the episode description. So you'll just see join us live on Sleeper. Click that link. If you have a Sleeper account, you'll be able to jump right into the chat, which is great. If you don't, then you'll have to make an account. But a really good place to be. Good platform, always doing some good things. So yeah, Swimmer Dude, I would go, we would both go Connor over Boone. Yeah, championship week, here we go. Easy Daddy, what's up, gents? Happy holidays to all. Happy holidays to you too, my friend. He has been, like we've said, our most loyal follower.
He's like our dad.
He's kind of like, he's like the pod dad. Also, happy Derrick Henry is out day. Like I said, look, Derrick Henry's a bum, and I've been trying to tell you guys. I'm kidding.
That's true.
No, last year Derrick Henry disappointed you all season, and now Derrick Henry's been an absolute godsend for the whole year, and in championship week he is out.
It's a very what do you want to call it? A mirror image, I guess, of his last season, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Strong, and then strong weak. So it's a very unfortunate kind of bookend situation for him, because he has likely gotten you to where you're at right now if you're competing in today's matchup. And yeah, it's a shame. But what do you do if you were banking on him getting you those 15-ish points?
It's tough, man. Do you really want to go and grab the handcuff for him?
Being Dion Lewis, right? Is that in for him?
Yeah.
Or?
So there's, I guess, conflicting reports on that. I think it will be Dion Lewis, although some people are saying that it will be. I have to find his name here. That's where is he? Oh man, that's bad. I can't even find it.
He is a Tennessee Titan. We can confirm
I will confirm
that. Kari Blasingame.
Thank you for attempting to pronounce that. That's great. Yeah, no, it's like, do you want to go that way? And the way that I see this is, I don't want to try to handcuff Derrick Henry in a championship week with a guy I've never seen play football. However, there's a guy that will probably be on your waivers, most likely. Adrian Peterson going up against the New York Giants, I think is going to win a lot of people fantasy championships today. So if I could get AP in the lineup, I definitely would go that route if I was a Derrick Henry owner.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is anytime that AP is sitting there for you, it's got to be like that's the first instinct, right? Because it's a running offense. You got to grab someone like that who's guaranteed volume. I feel like there is still a lot of other options for Tannehill and the offense on the Titans. So it certainly doesn't promote someone like Dion Lewis to fill D. Henry's shoes in his absence, right? I think it's going to be a big game for guys
AJ
like
Brown.
Jonnu Smith, A.J. Brown, Adam Humphries, and that nice young receiving core. Tannehill's going to have to do a lot of work with those guys, and I think they might have some troubles in the running game today.
So here's one to test the temperature on Adrian Peterson. Stephon Diggs against Green Bay or Adrian Peterson against the New York Giants? Like, this is where I'm going, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I think so too.
You just, like, the Green Bay secondary has been pretty solid all season. They're no longer a team that you can just pass all over with. I think the game script's going to have to speak to Mike Boone being successful on the ground for them to set up the passing game. Don't get me wrong, Stephon Diggs is great, but you got some shutdown corners on that Green Bay side. So I think it could be a tough day for Diggs, and Thielen hasn't been exactly himself. So
yeah, it's going to be tricky, I think, but I could also see a big swing in Stephon Diggs' favor. It's hard. It's going to be hard to predict. Whoever goes up first in that game is going to dictate kind of what the other team has to do. Because if Green Bay grabs the lead, then I think Diggs is going to be targeted all afternoon.
So do you like Peterson over Diggs?
It's a really close one, but I think I'm going to revert back to the same argument that running back over wide receiver in this case.
Bang. Underdogs, welcome back. Usually stops in every single weekend, so glad to see you here. We missed you yesterday. Championship weekend, need some major advice on my running back and flex lineup. Chubb, Fournette, and Drake starting, but I have Boone on the bench and need some upside due to Winston's poor game. Would you bench Chubb and play Boone, with this being the Ravens' revenge game, standard scoring? Ooh.
That's a very nicely formatted paragraph.
Nicely
you always just drop
you
those
being the
in
linguist
there.
that you are.
So Boone.
I'm not benching Chubb.
Oh, hell no.
You just can't. I think, man, Chubb, Fournette, Drake seems very, very nice to me. I'm a little bit down on the Boone play. I know that Landon is quite high, so if this was me and Landon, it would be Boone over Drake, I believe would be his sort of take. What do you think here?
I feel like Drake is hot, and I don't know if I would go Boone over Drake. I think I would keep Boone on the bench for this one.
Yeah,
that's my take.
Yeah, Mike Boone right now is our 20th ranked running back this week. Drake comes in at 17. Chubb is 11, and Fournette is, where did we put Fournette? 6. I think you just gotta roll as is, underdogs, and you gotta leave Mike Boone on your bench. I know it's tempting to play, but just leave him there.
Yeah, I think Chubb and Fournette are the locks there, but there's a very good chance that Drake outperforms both of them, as we've seen like twice this season.
100%. 100%. Let's jump over to. Let me just scroll down here and put this up from Scotty. Just before we go over to YouTube, Sleeper won't let us post links anymore. They're basically having to redo their post infrastructure and link sharing because some people were abusing it with inappropriate content. So we cannot basically get you to get us on YouTube through the Sleeper chat anymore until they redo things. So that's kind of what we're up against. But
yeah, and then we'll start sending out more shirtless pictures as well, as promised.
Yes. Jumping over to YouTube, we got our boy Wayne Monula, Landon's dad, here, giving us a little update. Landon is playing simulator golf right now and basically bailed on us. So he's +1 after 8 at Pebble Beach. And look, if you're going to skip it on the live stream, at least be red figures. I can't excuse over par. I just, can't do it.
Might be windy there. I mean,
with this high, flighty ball flight, spinny. Yeah. Jake Butcher coming in. Austin Eckler or Boone as the flex. Also have Chubb and Jones as RB1 and 2. You got to stay Eckler, my man. Absolutely. I'll put this in the comment for Jake. Jake Butcher. Yeah, I mean, Eckler's just been so great. He has his own role carved out. And again, as tempting as it is to go with Boone, Eckler has been fantastic. And I just, how do you go away from him after seeing a whole year's worth of fantastic production?
And Oakland is just
A tire fire.
a team that's been like steadily deflating, unfortunately. Lost their final game in Oakland. That was bad. And then now,
Right.
defend in the NFL. So, keep him in. I feel like that Los Angeles offense is going to be. I almost said charging. But yeah, they are gonna put up.
You are
points
one
today,
for
and
a
I think
good
he's gonna
pun.
be back.
I did miss
no pun
the joke on the one guy's handle. It was Beef Sunday. It sounds like a Joey Tribbiani special. Jeff Porto Jr., Robbie Anderson, Zach Pascal, Deontay Johnson in a full PPR. Bonuses for long touchdowns, pick 2. Oh boy. Oh boy. So I think in a full PPR, Zach Pascal is probably going to be my number one option here, just because of the volume that he's going to need to have for the Colts. So I would go Pascal 1, and then Deontay Johnson will be interesting with Juju Smith-Schuster coming back this week. He could still have the long touchdown. I just think I'm going to go Robbie. I'm going to go Robbie and Zach Pascal here. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I love Robbie for his legs and his big playability like that. Deontay Johnson, I guess, is kind of in a similar wheelhouse, but I feel like that just the ship is kind of sailing on Duck Hodges for me. I don't know if I trust that very much. That surprised me a lot this year, but still, I don't have a lot of trouble trusting a Steelers wide receiver.
I totally agree. Lucy Martin, that is Scotty's old lady, hopping in the chat here. How should I spend Scott's winnings when he beats Landon in the Dynasty Final? Well, Lucy, it's nice to see who makes the pants in that relationship, and I think you should spend it however you want, sweetheart. You
put it right on DraftKings.
The best part is Landon.
Go for the gusto.
The best part is Landon's the commissioner in our Dynasty League, and he's going to have to pay out Scott from his account. It's like, that just hurts. I haven't even seen how that matchup is trending, but I think it's going to be close.
Yes, I think so too. Scott actually probably was losing his mind yesterday when
absolutely he was.
Kept throwing picks, but we know Jameis to be a guy that sticks it out through the whole game. So, yeah, they're both stressing, and I like that.
Eric, good afternoon, boys. Mac, nice toque. It is a toque, yes. Not a beanie, you bunch of hipsters. P.S. Get off my lawn. God, that guy's just great. I love him. D. Hurtlocker back from yesterday. What's up, guys? My running backs are Singletary, Barkley, and Henry. With Henry out, should I play Lewis, Carrion, or OBJ in my flex? This is for the championship, so losing Henry hurts. Absolutely, it does. Man, I know what I would do here. What are you going to go with?
So Carrion's back, and they are playing Denver. I think I would go Carrion.
No.
You wouldn't?
I would not, no.
All right, what are you thinking here?
I would go OBJ.
Really?
Yes, I would.
You are such a prayer. Like, you have zero faith in OBJ. You're just saying that.
No, I would. In that case, I 100% would.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Carry-On believer. Always liked him a lot. This offense just they have a hard time producing without him. And
the tough thing with Carry-On though is like he hasn't played football for like 10 weeks, and now you're thrust back into a.
And you're saying OBJ has.
Fair enough. Touche. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's right now I'm in a matchup where I have Adrian Peterson in my flex and OBJ's on the bench. And like, who could have the bigger game? I still think it's AP, but that's kind of like I'm bordering right on there. AP has a backfield to himself who has been quite good. Like, you just never know what Carry-On's going to come up against or how he's going to be utilized, or if Wills is still going to be it's so many variables there.
Yeah, fair
will the
enough.
game script speak to Detroit being able to run? Like I think there's too many factors going against Carrion for me to actually plug him in safely in a championship matchup to rely on him. I think there's too many factors against him. That's just me.
So my argument is that the best secondary in the league is going to be covering OBJ, and I just, to me, that is the perfect counter argument to any downward stock in Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
I think OBJ, as dynamic as he is, has been contained by worse defenses than Baltimore.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and his performance largely relies on Baker making better passes, which he hasn't been able to do.
I sincerely,
very often in
the one thing with OBJ is that the targets have always been there.
That's true.
So the volume's probably still going to be there. I hope they move him inside to get him away from Marcus Peters, because if he's put on an island with Marcus Peters with his groin, it's a hernia. Like, there's no chance that he can burn Marcus Peters. So I hope they shift him inside and they use him more in the slot.
Yeah. Well, if OBJ, the volume has also been there for Landry. He's just been
correct,
and he's been the standout receiver on that team,
right.
Which no one really would have predicted going into this year. So really tough one on him. And if he's obviously not the reason that you got this far, but in this case, emergency calls, I would say Kerryon just because of that. I think he's got the floor. Right. I don't think OBJ really has his floor.
That's fair. Okay. We got two more here before we jump back over to Sleeper. Okay. Mr. E-Man 2639, Ertz and Julio or Goddard and Michael Thomas. Oh, who would you rather have? Michael Thomas has been unbelievable. But I'm going to go Ertz and Julio here. I think that Ertz will have the better game than Goddard. He's still the number one. He's still one of the best tight ends in football. So I'm going to go Ertz and Julio to get it going.
I can't say no to Michael Thomas. I just think you're right about Ertz having a safer floor and still being one of the best. But Michael Thomas is to me the best. So I'm going to go with that hand.
Yeah. He also has a Cooper or A.J. Brown. For me, that is easy. A.J. Brown.
Yeah, boy.
He's just been so good
Love
lately,
him.
and Cooper in plus matchups has disappeared. like 2 for 20. He's like 0 for. A.J. Brown is just a special guy when he gets the ball, and Ryan Tannehill's making sure he gets it as much as possible. Jake's chiming back in. Who thought at the beginning of the season OBJ would be on someone's bench during fantasy playoff weekend? That is fantasy football in a nutshell, my friend. Nobody. But here we are. You're talking to a guy that owned Juju Smith-Schuster and Odell Beckham Jr. this year. And, my first and second round picks. So RIP to my season.
But yeah, that A.J. Brown, holy smokes. I'd love to have my hands on him on Dynasty or a Keeper League.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Turk 822. How to win without Henry today. Yeah, you're going up in the Listener League final without him. You are going to have to be resourceful, my friend. I don't know what you're going to do there. Crabs on my tree branch. Is the wind enough of a factor in Miami to pivot from Devontae Parker to Marlon Mack? I think it depends what you need. If you need a upside play, then I think you have to stay with Devontae Parker. If you just need a little bit of safety, like a 10 to 12, 13-point game, I think Marlon Mack is safe in that sense. So if you're behind, you got to go Parker. If you're trending to win, you got to go safety with Marlon Mack. That's kind of the way that I see it. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. Devontae Parker is like, I love him right now. Man, this is a tough one.
Again, it's the running back. It's the running back wide receiver dilemma.
Have had a tough time controlling the run this year. There is not. I don't love Jacoby Brissett these days, but Marlon Mack has always been, to me, a really impressive player. I'd play him today over Devontae Parker.
Okay. I'm just gonna write: if you're trending to win, then roll Marlon. If you're severely behind, then you need Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Context is everything, people. We've gone through those. Beef Sunday, yes sir.
Dion the Prodigy. He's saying Zach, Shark, or AJ Brown half PPR. Hashtag.
Is that in the sleeper chat or YouTube?
Sleeper chat.
Ooh, I missed that one. Or is that all the way at the bottom? Oh.
It's just at the bottom now.
We're still a little bit up. But say it again.
Marlon Mack, DJ Shark, or AJ Brown half PPR.
Ooh.
Hashtag fix my
AJ.
flex.
Yep.
All day.
For the record, I don't like DJ Chark coming back from injury this week. I don't. If I have a choice, I'm going to play Westbrook or Conley over DJ.
Interesting. Okay.
Fourth and goal, 808. I sat Tom Brady yesterday and plan to stream Andy or Gardner Minshew. Oh, baby. I told someone yesterday that they should start Andy Dalton. I like the matchup. Do you want Minshew or do you want Andy Dalton?
I think Minshew. Didn't Andy Dalton last week?
I think he had a pretty decent week, if my memory serves me correct. Maybe not. I don't know. Why don't you vet that real quick? They are back to back in our rankings.
Getting vetted.
Yeah. They're back to back in our rankings. The only thing I'll say about Minshew going up against the Falcons, their defense has been quite solid the last couple weeks. I mean, this is a team that shut down the 49ers and beat them. So Andy Dalton going up against Miami, I mean, we know what Miami is. There's nothing shocking about them, but the Falcons could come out and win this game. I don't know. I think it'll be a shootout in Miami. So I'm gonna go Dalton.
I'm gonna go Minshew. I think he doctored a pretty awesome victory last week in Oakland. He was a big driving force there. I mean, I just feel like there's a bit of and I got faith in him to roll that out. I don't think Atlanta is a week-to-week good team defensively. They have had their moments, but I don't trust them. So I'm gonna roll Minshew.
I'm just gonna say we're split between them. Mac likes Dalton for the matchup, and
Mark likes Minshew
Mark
magic.
Likes the Minshew magic.
That's a very alliterative response.
Yeah, you got to go with a little alliteration when you can. It's a beautiful thing. We got Jake. Okay, money. Keep rolling. We got Jeff Porter. AK Weepa. Eckler or Boone as the flex. Full PPR. Also have Chubb and Jones as RB1 and 2. Didn't we get this one on YouTube?
Yeah, I think
sounds very familiar.
I think we already hit that one.
And we said Eckler, absolutely. I will respond to it though, just cause. Yeah, it's stay with Eckler, my friend. Come on, sleeper. Eckler.
Easy's just dropping us. Goodness, I am in a free pool for a championship because if I had money riding on it, I will be drinking some hard eggnog all day.
I've been rolling with the JP's cream. That is an Ontario Bailey's version of Bailey's. It's been a nice morning so far.
Hard eggnog, Easy. Get your act together. I've actually got about 8 liters of it sitting in mason jars. I made some hard eggnog this year, so
a guy like you definitely would. There he is. I'm in a free pool with the money. Casey in the East, Fitz or Dak? Pick 2, half PPR. Robinson, Thielen, Washington, Miller. Okay, Fitz or Dak? That's a tough one. Dak has. Is it a thumb issue that Dak is dealing with right now?
Yeah, I think so. Let's check that out.
Again,
let's see what
plus
they're saying
matchup for Fitz. I'm gonna roll Fitz.
Well, Fitz, lots of people are sleeping on the fact that he is the best rusher on that team.
He is the leading rusher. That is right.
Yeah, but I think but at the same time, Dak has I was just being ironic there, but Dak has way more upside with his legs. Regardless of what happens, I feel like he's a better decision maker on the field. I would roll Dak here with confidence. It's going to be a fun and exciting game, and I feel like I would roll him out.
Based on our rankings, it's Dak. Dak's at 8, and Fitzmagic is at 11. So. I guess you have to go that way. So we'll say Dak over Fitz. And then
the latest sleeper update on Dak is that he had no limitations at his most recent practice. Optimistic his sprained right shoulder won't be an issue Sunday's game against the Eagles. So, yeah.
And the Eagles can't cover anybody. So he should have a decent day.
First trick play that goes out there is going to go for a touchdown, maybe 2.
Pick 2.5 PPR: Robinson, Thielen, Washington, Miller. Oh boy, I don't want to play Thielen. Only played 33 snaps last week. Was very limited. Didn't get a whole lot of targets. Now they played Green Bay. Same kind of rationale I used for Diggs earlier. So I would pick Diggs to have a game with Thielen for sure.
I do not like playing 2 receivers on the same team, especially on the Chicago Bears. Love Allen Robinson, like Anthony Miller, but I feel like it's not going to be both of them doing damage in the same game. So that's my argument.
Who would you pick? I mean, we have to pick one of them, I believe. Robinson or Miller.
Yeah.
Probably go A-Rob.
Gotta go A-Rob.
A-Rob in Washington?
Yeah.
Love it. This is the first time I've ever said to go DeAndre Washington in a set of players, so it's kind of nice to get his name out there.
Yep.
Any possibility of a nightmare scenario where Lamar Jackson gets pulled after the first quarter or the first half? I have Rivers as my backup quarterback. P.S. Attaboy Mark for rocking the holiday plaid. What, you don't like my gangster rapper shirt, boy? I'm gonna go. You have to play Lamar Jackson. He was out there last week when they were destroying the Jets, and he was out there for probably a quarter longer than he should have been.
I don't think he would let Harbaugh sit him.
He'd be like, "Listen,
he loves football too much."
I remember last week when it was like a 4th and 1, and they were on their side of the field, and the punting team came out, and Lamar was just like, "No, get back on the sideline," and Harbaugh was like, all right. And then they converted. He threw that little sideline pass out route to Mark Andrews. I was like, all right, like, respect.
Yeah, no, he's going to be in the game. Don't worry about that. I think the hardest fought game from Cleveland as well. So
it's gonna.
Let's hope that it's competitive, and in order for it to be that way, he's going to have to stay on the field.
Absolutely. We got a couple here.
Everywhere.
What was the verdict on Wentz versus Fitz? That is Fitz for me. Fitz is our 11th ranked quarterback, and Wentz is 13. So our rankings say to go Fitz, and that's what I'm going to do. I mean, Wentz has been a travesty.
Yes, very tough. Very tough to say what Wentz is going to do. He is like, obviously you can see some flashes of brilliance, but you can also see how bad that team is for receivers. They have no deep threat really right now. That's what hurts them the most, is because Wentz has such an excellent arm for deep throws. So season, I can't trust him. I don't own him anywhere and never probably, but he'd be able to just like he was 2 years ago.
100%. Hey, I got to say something real quick. 13 viewers in the chat, only 7 likes. Boys, come on. Get that like count up to 13. Please and thank you.
Throw us some eggnog, too.
Look, we're these, we're these guys that are in the trenches with you. We're going through the same things you are. Click the like button, please. It helps. It really, really does. We got some more YouTube questions here to get to. PPR, Dion Lewis or Boone? Ray Gibson, thank you so much for the question, my man. For me, that is Mike Boone. Mike Boone over Deion Lewis. You in with that?
Yeah, I am but because I trust the offensive line. They can make any runner great. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's funny, like, to see how well Derrick Henry did. It wasn't because he had excellent blocking. That offensive line was actually one of the weaker ones, considering they are such a strong running team with him in game. It's not really because of his offensive line. I feel like in Minnesota, it is a huge factor.
Big factor. Yeah, it's. We saw him last year. He was one of the running backs who got the most contact before the line of scrimmage, and yeah, he's a big body, but he needs a little bit of space to get going. So he's gotten a little bit more help there this year. You've seen how productive he's been, but I would go Boone or Deion Lewis. That's kind of where I draw the line for Boone personally. I know you guys are a little bit higher on him. Daniel Long, Drew Lock or Will Grier? Ew.
Weren't we having this conversation in like May?
Ew. Yeah. I'm going to flip this over to you. I've got my answer locked in my head. What are you thinking?
So I got to take another look at the matchups.
I'm going to put Mac likes, and then I'm going to put
Drew Lock.
Okay.
I'm saying Drew Lock.
All right. The boys like Drew Lock. Will Grier at WVU was quite great. Like a lot of things out of him. I don't mind that the Panthers are exploring their options outside of Kyle Allen because of how poor he's played the last couple weeks. Again, it's the unknown. I don't want to explore the unknown in my championship week. I've seen enough from Drew Lock now to say, yeah, I'm comfortable playing him, and it's against Detroit. So, yeah. The boys like Drew Lock. In brackets, but you. Yeah, we got to put that out there. Jeff said, thanks, that's what I have. I believe that was the Washington and Robinson question. So you are welcome. It's always nice when our answers line up. Love that. Half PPR, Chark, Mack, or AJ Brown, fix my flex. Didn't we already get this one? Let's just in case it's a duplicate question or it's just somehow coincidentally the same.
Exact same circumstance.
It's AJ Brown. That's what we gave last time. What a stud.
It's AJ Brown.
What a stud. Steve Bach, best D between Ravens, Seahawks, or Broncos. Oh my goodness gracious. So the Ravens are playing the Browns. The Seahawks are playing, remind me, the Cardinals?
Yeah.
And the Broncos against the Lions. Man, I'm playing the Seahawks in a couple championship matchups right now. But I feel like if I have the Ravens defense, like, how do you not play them?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Steve?
I love the Broncos too. I feel like I would play Seahawks last. So Ravens, Broncos, Seahawks. Got to start Ravens.
Absolutely. I'm going to put in that order. Steve, thanks so much for the question. Appreciate you stopping by. Hit that sub and like button if you wouldn't mind. It'd be great. Man, this is the last live stream we're going to do for a little bit.
Even here.
Yeah.
He must not even care, I guess.
I guess he doesn't. I want an update on that round. I hope he's like 3 or 4 over now.
Oh, yeah.
Ray Gibson.
He's probably right on that nice dog leg, right? The with the step up in the middle. The beauty hole.
Ray Gibson back with another question. Steeler or Bronco defense? Now, throwing the Steelers into the mix makes things a little bit interesting. Steelers defense has been great. They're playing against the Jets.
Sorry, where did you see this
It's
question?
on YouTube.
It's a YouTube question? Okay. Say it again.
Steelers or Broncos? Little revenge game for Lev Bell potentially. We explored that. Bobby, I'm gonna report this question. Thank God football is almost done. Remove.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go with the Broncos. With the thought that David Blau has been the worst fantasy quarterback in over his last couple starts. He's the lowest QBR rating of any active quarterback over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I believe it is. So I'm I'm going to go with the guy who's the worst quarterback, and I'm going to go with who they're playing, which is the Broncos, who are quite solid. You second that, or are you going with the Steelers?
Yeah, I agree. Love the Steelers defense, but matchup wise, got to take advantage of a poor opposing quarterback.
Yes, matchup against David Blau. 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 Non-PPR Hunter Henry or Jacob Hollister. Oh my God, that is literally, I think, right on the line for us. I'm gonna double check our rankings here. Who are you going with? Ooh, that's gonna be tight. So the one thing to note is that the Arizona Cardinals are dead last in defending the tight end. They are the worst in the league, giving up about 13 fantasy points per game. The only problem with Jacob Hollister is we haven't seen him be productive in about 4 weeks. He hasn't eclipsed more than 45 yards in 4 weeks. So, yeah, you're now saying, like, yeah, the matchup is juicy, but will he actually get it done? And that's where I just don't know. Hunter Henry right now, 7, Hollister 10. So our rankings would lean to the Hunter Henry side, which I'm not shocked by that.
Yeah.
I can't swear on this
Hang your
podcast,
head.
but really wish I could. Yeah, might as well.
We'll just say Hollis. Shot in the dark from
You're an
back
ass.
anyway.
Hunter Henry is higher in our rankings. However, we like the game script for Hollister.
So, sleeper chat.
Dak or Tannehill?
Say
Oh, baby. I think you still have to go Dak here.
Explain.
It's kind of what you had said. Before.
Like AJ Brown hard, and you kind of have been snubbing the Cowboys receivers. So I don't know what to believe.
Just kind of what you said with Dak and the ability for him to use his legs. Also, the Philadelphia secondary is a travesty. So
Yep.
I do like Tannehill. The only thing is New Orleans. You never know what Marshawn Lattimore is going to be able to do. And I do think, though, there will be points put up on both sides here. I mean, Tennessee's defense is quite solid, and they might be able to limit Kamara, force Breeze to throw a little bit more. However, I like the Dak side here over Tannehill. But Tannehill's been great. What do you think?
I agree. Dak for me.
Dak in a close one.
What's Tannehill in the
Tannehill in the rankings. Let me pull that up really quick, just to vet. Come on, internet. Sometimes it's a little bit slow. Yeah, Prescott we have at 8, Tannehill at 10. So it's close. Certainly close. Clear rankings. We are at M will suck. Interesting. Probably you. It doesn't say
anything.
It doesn't say TE, so it's definitely probably you. Standard scoring: Mixon with a bug, or DeAndre Washington or McLaurin. Yeah, 100% go Mixon.
Oh yeah.
Mixon all day, boy.
Mixing up the medicine.
Maybe he's got like the Michael Jordan flu game in him. Maybe that's a little bit of motivation. Maybe it is. We don't know. Okay, underdogs back at it. Fournette or Boone. Atlanta the last 2 weeks gave up 13 and 11 points to McCaffrey and Mostert. Do you think Boone would have the better day, or would be the better play? It's still Fournette for me.
Gotta be.
100%.
Yeah. Not even going to take an extra second on that one.
Yeah, and yesterday's...
But it's fair though. It's a
Yesterday's
fair
set of
question.
game. It's a fair question. Yesterday's set of games was a very bad day for the start your steads mentality. However,
Yeah.
that will not exist over a bigger sample size. So, Fournette, baller. Trap Lord 2-6. Chark versus Atlanta.
It's not
Landry
fair.
versus Baltimore. Oh boy. Chark or Landry, two guys I'm not overly high on this week. What are you going with?
Landry versus Baltimore.
Landry versus Baltimore. Let's find our rankings here. Jarvis Landry ranked as 25th. DJ Chark is buried. He's outside the top 48. Top 48.
Going to be able to, like, we talked about how he's coming back from injury. I think he's the most talented receiver on that roster, but coming back from injury is always a touchy one, right? So there's risk of re-injury, risk of limited snap counts. I think it's quite the opposite for Landry. I think he's going to see even higher snaps than OBJ today, and he is the biggest
snaps or targets
weapon. I think he's just going to be on the field more. I think he's kind of cut out his role as like the 1A.
Now here's an interesting one: Marlon Mack or Mike Boone. Again, not close for me.
So you're saying
I am saying Mac. Marlon.
Okay.
You don't like that?
I mean, I feel like it's just it's a little bit hot and cold with Mike Boone right now. I like Marlon Mack too, so but triple touchdown upside.
This is where Mike Boone falls in our rankings. He right now is 18 in the rankings. Yeah. Marlon Mack is 12. So he's a fringe running back 1/2 for us.
Yeah.
Guys that we would play over Mike Boone right now. Devonta Freeman, Devin Singletary, that was yesterday. Adrian Peterson, Le'Veon Bell, Kenyon Drake, Raheem Mostert, James White, Kareem Hunt, Patrick Laird, Sony Michel. Those are guys that we would play Mike Boone over. Guys I would play over Mike Boone: Phillip Lindsay, Miles Sanders, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Marlon Mack, Nick Chubb, Fournette, Kamara, Ingram, Mixon. We got to move Derrick Henry out of the rankings, and the rest of the studs. So that's kind of where he falls for us right now.
Yeah, I think Mack as well.
Okay. I will respond to that. Slayton or Hollister in the flex? That is a very interesting question.
To me, it's obvious.
What are you thinking? Talk to me out loud.
I think Slayton. Hollister, it's like we said, he hasn't proved enough. And Slayton has, I think, a lot more than touchdown upside. He's shown that he can be a targeted receiver, and he's shown that he can do a lot more work than just catching a ball and going down with it. He is a great yards after catch threat, and it's going up against a team that is like a sieve.
Oh, absolute sieve.
So
when it comes down to the flex position, I agree with you. It's usually running back over wide receiver just for the safety. When it's wide receiver and tight end, it's usually the wide receiver, unless you're talking some upper echelon tight end. But the tight end landscape is just so gross. I mean, a top 12 performance out of the tight end position might be 4 for 50, or whoever gets in the end zone that week, right? So it's kind of a gross position with not a lot of upside. So I'm usually going to go with the wide receiver. And Darius Slayton's been unbelievable. So. Looking at Robbie Anderson versus Pittsburgh, Hollywood Brown versus the Browns, or Steve Sims versus New York. Got Robbie in as we speak, but feeling Sims. I would be feeling Hollywood Brown, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I think so too.
No disrespect.
Hollywood Brown, I feel like Hollywood Brown is a little bit slept on. I think he's got the biggest big play upside.
Absolutely.
And the best legs out of all three of those guys.
Marquise Brown right now is ranked as our 25th wide receiver. Robbie Anderson at 31, and Steve Sims unranked. So our rankings speak to Marquise Brown for sure.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown. Don't sleep.
Chark or Washington? That's a question coming at us from Alex Korth.
Alex Korth. So what's the temperature right now on James Washington? I'm going to assume that he's talking about James.
Assume that it's James, yeah.
I mean, if it's DeAndre Washington, then I'm going DeAndre. I'll format our response in that way. When there's just something to keep in mind, if you've got a player that you want us to talk about that has, a same last name as a lot of other guys in the league, then go ahead and just put that first initial. Kind of helps us with your question a little bit more.
I'm going to put a little crying emoji for you, Alex Korth, because we don't know and we can't answer you. But if it's DeAndre, we go DeAndre. If it's James, we go Chark, I think.
If it's James Washington, we go Chark. And if it's DeAndre Washington, we go Washington. Boom. Underdogs. Melvin Gordon over Boone, right? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Don't second guess that.
Yeah. So we got less than 10 minutes till kickoff here, Mackenzie. And this is the last. Remind you, this is the last live stream we're going to be doing.
It's so sad. It's so sad. Let's jump back over to YouTube and see what we got going on here. 16 viewers, beautiful. But only 9 likes, guys. Come on, we're here for you. Sunday. I haven't even set my own lineups yet.
Sunday.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to help you guys out. Just a like goes a long way. It's free. Just one click. Just one click off your finger. Jake Butcher kind of thought this one was over. Might be overthinking it. Should I throw Allen Robinson back in for Keenan Allen? No.
No.
Keenan, stay with Keenan, Jake.
Keenan is going to rip it up today.
DST, Atlanta, Washington, or New York Jets. I would play Atlanta first.
Ditto.
Sleek. Go with Atlanta. Caleb Clark. Hey, guys. I'm starting Mack and Sanders in PPR, but I have Chubb on the bench. Should I switch this, or do you think the Ravens can just shut him down? We have Chubb inside of our top 10 right now, so I'm going to go, you got to play Chubb over, what was this two?
Sanders and Mack?
Is that what you said? So I would play Chubb over Sanders. That's what our rankings say. That's where I would go.
Ditto.
Rodgers or Fitz? Ew. You got to go Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is our 9th ranked quarterback right now. Ryan Fitzpatrick 12. So it's a little bit closer than you probably thought, but I would definitely go with Rodgers. Whew. Quick blast.
It's funny. One of my students came up to me, Mac, and had a football card. They're not a fan. They don't know the league at all. They're like, Mr. Poole, do you know who this is? Like,
do I?
What do you need to know, kid?
I'm about to blow your fucking mind. Yeah, I had a kid in one of my classes. Just for the record, we're both teachers, so it's funny. I had a kid in my class. It was like week 6 or 7. He drops Derrick Henry. I'm like, what are you doing? Go pick him back up right now. He's like, I gotta wait till Wednesday. Dude, what are you doing? Dropping Derrick Henry. Kids are dumb, man.
That's why we're there, man. They have all those curriculum documents, but we have our own.
I love every minute of it, though. They hold a special place in my heart.
Okay, so underdogs. Question on sleeper. Last one. Colts versus Panthers or Chargers versus Oakland?
Say that again, sorry.
DST question. Colts versus Panthers or Chargers versus Oakland?
Oh, my God. Chargers.
Chargers for me, too.
We have a YouTube question, actually. Jamal Jaradat. Boone or Eckler?
Eckler.
We did this one. It is Eckler, but I will respond right now. Hopefully you get this in time, my man. Keep writing. Eckler. Woo! 5 minutes out. Do you have any of your own questions that we have to go over here?
Well, I'm kind of pigeonholed right now, so unfortunately, I had Derrick Henry slotted in at a running back position. I should have had him at my flex with his questionable tag, because that way I could have had more options to slide in for him. So I'm going for a third place matchup right now. It's not looking good. I kind of need I don't need it. I don't know. It's the do. So let's just keep it. Let's keep it interesting. Let's keep answering questions.
I forgot to answer this one. Chark versus Atlanta or Landry versus Baltimore. We're saying Landry.
Yeah.
It is a tough one, but it's just, what do you believe in DJ Chark? That's kind of where it falls for us. But look, I've got a championship matchup going on right now. I went with Perriman yesterday, and 17.2 points in a full PPR. Really feeling nice about that. Also got Edelman for 14.5. I have AJ Brown as my other receiver. Could play Metcalf. Would you go Metcalf over AJ Brown?
I don't think I would.
And, so if that's a question that you have as well, I'm very high on AJ Brown. I should say. He is our number 9 ranked wide receiver this week.
Crazy. Most improved fantasy player or fantasy rookie? What are you saying?
Yeah, and you know what? It was never him. It was the fact that he was stuck with Marcus Mariota.
Yep.
And coming at a nice time, Kevin Nasty coming in, AJ Brown or DeAndre Washington, and it's AJ Brown.
Still AJ Brown, yeah.
Absolutely. And again, this kind of negates our argument that it's usually in the flex play, running back over wide receiver, but when you got a top 10 potentially wide receiver on your roster, you got to get him in there, or projected to be, I should say. The other considerations that I had were D.D. Westbrook, Curtis Samuel. Again, I don't really like Curtis Samuel or DJ Moore as much as I would have this week, going up against Indy with Will Grier throwing them the ball. So,
yeah.
Would you play Kerryon Johnson in the flex over A.J. Brown?
Probably not. Because he's going to be I feel like he's the biggest commodity on that offense. If the Titans want to take it home today, he's going to get targeted all day. It's going to be a lighter load for Kerryon, but I think he does kind of have the red zone. I think he's going to have that red zone upside, and Kerryon can always bring something dynamic to the table. He can break out.
I agree. Wayne just posted in the chat, he's flaming me. Rodgers or Fitz? I picked Rodgers. He goes, weird. Pick the Packers player. You see through my homerism, Wayne? The writing's on the wall, pal.
Yeah, literally. I can see 7 Packers logos, and I can see 1% of the room.
I'm really glad I don't have to go to work on Tuesday because I will be up all night Monday sweating over that game. 2 minutes out, man. Actually, no, a minute and a half, 90 seconds here. This is crazy. The last 90 seconds of 2019 football season hit the red button right now. Please and thank you. Would be great. Whew. I'm excited to talk off season, though. It's, for dynasty purposes, just to talk rookies. I know Landon's going to be gung-ho about the rookies.
Always is.
Yeah, always
never
is.
write about him.
He struggles so much. Adrian Peterson over Odell Beckham Jr. is what I'm rolling in this league. Things aren't looking too great for me right now. I am projected to lose by about 20. DeAndre Hopkins and Devin Singletary really doing a number on my team yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Good luck, Mac. I hope you win that one.
Thank you.
Anyone else listening out there? Championship. Graciously, if you lose,
don't be a jerk. Send out that congratulations. There's always next year. It's just a game, but it's a game that we love and we love to hate and everything about it. So, look, if you want to get us on social media at SMS_fantasy, if you want to get Mark or Scott or Landon, you can get their handles in the episode description, or Mark's is on the screen. Again, a beautiful live stream, lots of interaction, lots of guys. If you haven't hit the like button or the subscribe button, please consider doing so. We really appreciate you being a part of our following. And until next year, we'll see you guys.
Thanks for holding it down with the snap this year,
yes,
guys.
Sir. Have a good one. Good luck today, and be a champ.